The Roney Marczak Sol Maior or G Major Music School, founded in Londrina in 2001 by the violinist Roney Marczak, was born with defined purposes, and as it grew within the musical scene of the city, its performance in artistic teaching became even clearer. In less than a decade, more than 1,200 students from Londrina and the surrounding area have participated in its courses, receiving pedagogical and instrumental orientation from the teachers that make up the faculty of Escola Sol Maior. As a result of this learning came the orchestra Jovem de Londrina, which is also composed of musicians that studied at Sol Maior. Other ramifications that also came out of these activities at the school are the Duo Descobertas, the Orchestra Infanto Juvenil Sol Maior, or the Adolescent Orchestra, and the Quartet Descobertas. The institution became a reference point in the city and state for the quality in its work, seeing the global formation of the student as a priority. Because of these aspects in the teaching methods, many former students of Sol Maior are currently a part of professional orchestras in São Paulo and Rio de Janeiro. One example of this being Danilo de Oliveira of the Symphonic Academy Orchestra of the state of São Paulo. One of the main objectives that guides the school is the recognition of local talent. For this reason, scholarships were set up for students of various ages, as long as they meet the necessary requirements. The Sol Maior Music School also works in the forming of music teachers, applying a methodology brought from Europe by Professor Marczak after 14 years of study in Germany and Switzerland. In a continued partnership with Swiss schools, Sol Maior was able for 2 consecutive years to bring to London classical music teachers that taught courses and did concert performances with the acoustic and electric guitars, piano, flute, clarinet, bass clarinet, and the violin. Still, in regards to Switzerland, there is a project being implemented that will allow students and teachers to study in Switzerland. Today, Sol Maior Music School has a faculty of 10 teachers, all of whom graduated from the main musical institutions in Brazil and overseas. Among the courses offered are violin, viola, piano, keyboard, flute, vocal technique, chamber music, music for babies, music for children, guitar, orchestra practice, perception and theory, music history, and harmony and counterpoint. There is also a preparatory course for the college entrance exam that is specific to the study of music in Brazil and overseas. The relationship between Roney and Switzerland had its beginnings when he was only 15 years old. After the violinist won his first musical contest in São Paulo, Brazil, he was invited by those responsible for the youth orchestra of Freiburg to travel to Switzerland to perform with the orchestra in Italy, France, Germany, and Austria. Born in Brazil, he began studying the violin at the age of 6 in his hometown of Londrina, the son of language teachers, descendants from Italy and Poland. He had class with Paulo Bocicio and attended master classes with Max Hostel, Henrik Serzing, Paul Batura Skoda, Shmuel Ashkenazi, Igor Ozin, Monica Urbaniak, and Joseph Silverstein. Having won awards and contests both nationally and internationally, and after a rigorous selection process of 900 candidates, Roney, at the young age of 17, was one of 3 scholarship recipients from the German government, DAAD, and graduated with the highest honors of the Musikhochschule of Freiburg, Germany. He also finished with honors the course of interpretation and virtuosity and the masters in the teaching of music for babies, children, and adults at the Superior Music School of Bern, Switzerland. He performed in front of the main Brazilian orchestras and in Europe, performed solos with the Symphony Orchestra of Contrast, the Bern Symphony Orchestra of Switzerland, and in the Freiburg Symphony Orchestra of Germany, under the careful tutelage of Alceu Bocchino, Roberto Tibirica, Jamil Malufi, Julio Medaglia, Kaspar Zender, and Dmitry Kitajenko. He was also a guest of the Vatican to receive in the private chapel of the Holy Father the first visit of all the Eastern Catholic eminences in 1994, having been hosted by John Paul II and his cardinals. The violinist presented works of composers for violin solos. In 1999, he recorded in Germany with the pianist Christian Huvulu. The CD Descobertas was one of the first CDs to gather classic popular music and popular classical music from Brazilian composers, including songs and arrangements of MPB for violin and piano. In 2002, he recorded Descobertas 2, and continuing in the tradition of publicizing the classical and popular music of Brazil, he recorded Descobertas 3 in 2007. With this, his trilogy was finished, and the albums were contributing to this day to the renaissance of the exquisite and unknown repertoire of Brazilian composers in Brazil and abroad. He taught violin and chamber music at the music schools of St. Blasiane in Germany and Wohlen, Switzerland, and is an invited professor at a festival in Minas Gerais, Brazil. Interested in contributing to the improvement of teaching music in Brazil, he decided after 14 years of studies and professional work in Europe to return and establish himself in Londrina and open the School of Music Sol Maior Roney Marczak. Sol Maior is one of the only music schools in Brazil to have partnerships with music schools in Germany, Italy, and Switzerland, which allows the students and faculty the opportunity to have an exchange of knowledge and culture through the visits of foreign professors exclusively for the music school. Roney Marczak was invited by the state government of Paraná to be a part of the artistic teaching direction of the 24th Londrina Music Festival. He is currently an honorary member of the Cultural Academy of Paraná. The Youth Orchestra of Londrina, made up of musicians and students from Londrina and the surrounding area. It exists through the joining of forces of Sol Maior and the violinist Roney Marczak. The Youth Orchestra of Londrina has already performed, in its 5 years of existence, over 70 concerts and performances, including openings of conferences and congresses and recordings for radio and television. The will to succeed and the love of the arts, accompanied by determination and discipline, make the Youth Orchestra of Londrina a true standout among the orchestras of the state and of the country. Since its debut, more than 40 musicians have passed through the orchestra and have taken what they have learned, and today are teachers and professionals in the area. And in this way, the orchestra is reaching a goal set upon its creation. The quartet Descobertas is made up of music teachers from Sol Maior in Londrina, Paraná. It has been around 4 years, and one of its main objectives is to advertise the music of Brazilian composers to Brazil and to the world without changing the many styles it possesses. In other words, through its own arrangements, the quartet Descobertas wants to give the public, from the most humble to the most well-informed, the chance to hear the music of Brazil, complete with all its characters, be they classical, popular, or country. One of the great motivations of Descobertas is also through its concerts, the gathering of funds to help with the activities developed at Sol Maior, which goes beyond scholarships for those of all ages. The school also develops the formation of groups that gives children and youth the opportunity to leave the streets and find new paths in their professional lives. These activities are the children's orchestra, the youth orchestra, choir, and chamber music, and through the participation in the socio-cultural life of the city of Londrina and the surrounding area of northern Paraná. With an unmatched formation, violin, piano, bass, and percussion, and an eclectic repertoire that mixes classic and popular Brazilian genres in the most authentic form, the Quartet Descobertas wants the world to know Brazilian music and wants to do its part so that the Brazilian public of all ages has the opportunity to know its music, especially that of other generations which are at risk of being lost. In this way, they are contributing to the diffusion of culture and in the promotion of the quality of life.